There is a specific kind of person who exists in your life, or perhaps this person is you, who has a vanishing act. One moment, they are present. They are laughing, they are engaged, they are the life of the conversation. And then, without warning, they are gone. Not physically gone, perhaps, but digitally, emotionally, and socially. They evaporate. They stop replying to texts, they delete their social media apps, they decline invitations with vague excuses or they don't reply at all. To the outside world, this looks like arrogance. It looks like they don't care. It looks like they are flaky, unreliable, or cold. Friends get offended. Partners get anxious. People ask, what did I do wrong? Why are they ignoring me? But if you look closer at the psychology of the person who disappears, you will find that their silence is almost never about you. It is rarely an act of rejection. Instead, it is an act of desperate preservation. We live in an age of hyper-availability. We are expected to be reachable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And for a specific type of mind, a deep, processing, highly perceptive mind, this constant demand for presence feels like a slow suffocation. So they disappear. Not to end their life, but to save it. This is MindTrip. Let's take a journey into the psychology of the people who disappear, why they do it, and why their silence might actually be the loudest form of self-care. There is a common belief that people who isolate themselves are antisocial. We assume they hate people, but psychological research often suggests the exact opposite. People who are prone to disappearing acts often score incredibly high on traits of empathy and high sensitivity. They don't dislike people, they absorb them. When an average person walks into a crowded room, they see faces, they hear noise, they grab a drink. But when the disappearer walks into that room, they feel the energy of the conversation. They notice the micro-expression of sadness on a friend's face. They feel the tension between two people in the corner. They are constantly processing the emotional data of everyone around them. This is what psychologists call sensory processing sensitivity. Their nervous system is like a sponge that has no off switch. They are drinking in the world through a fire hose. And because they feel so deeply, and because they care so much about the quality of their interactions, they burn fuel at twice the rate of everyone else. Imagine your social energy is a battery. For some, social interaction charges the battery. These are the extroverts. For others, the battery drains slowly. But for the person who disappears, the battery doesn't just drain, it crashes. They hit a wall. It's not a gradual fatigue, it is a sudden physiological need to shut down. This is the social hangover. When they stop texting you back, it's not because they are angry. It's because their brain has literally reached capacity. They are in power-saving mode. Every notification, every "hey, what are you doing?" every demand for their attention feels like a physical poke to a bruised arm. They aren't ignoring you to be mean. They are ignoring you because they are trying to keep their own operating system from crashing. They are retreating to the only place where the noise stops, the void. But there is a deeper, darker reason why people disappear, and it has to do with the modern curse of being perceived. We live in a culture of constant performance. From the moment we wake up to the moment we sleep, we are being watched. We are watched by algorithms. We are watched by followers. We are watched by colleagues on Zoom. And we are watched by friends waiting for the read receipt on a text message. For the person who disappears, this constant perception feels like a prison. Jean-Paul Sartre, the existential philosopher, famously said, "Hell is other people." He didn't mean that people are bad. He meant that when other people look at us, they define us. They put us in a box. They expect us to be the funny one, the smart one, the reliable one. And eventually, maintaining that character becomes exhausting. The person who disappears often feels trapped by their own identity. They feel that they have become a character in a movie written by everyone else. They are tired of performing the version of themselves that you know. So they disappear to take the costume off. In the safety of isolation, they don't have to be funny, they don't have to be smart, they don't have to be kind, they don't have to be anything. They can just exist. This is why they don't post on social media during these phases. Posting is a performance. Posting requires an audience. They are starving for a moment where they are not an object to be looked at, but a subject experiencing their own life. If you are someone who disappears, you know this feeling. The relief of canceling plans, the joy of a Friday night with no messages. It's not loneliness, it's the ecstasy of autonomy. It's the feeling of finally owning your own time again. There is a biological concept that applies perfectly here. Think of the caterpillar. When a caterpillar is ready to become a butterfly, it doesn't just grow wings while it's walking around. It stops, it hangs upside down. It wraps itself in a cocoon, a chrysalis. Inside that cocoon, something violent and beautiful happens. The caterpillar actually dissolves. It turns into a soup of cells. It completely deconstructs itself before it can reconstruct itself into something new. This is exactly what the disappearer is doing. Psychologically, we go through seasons of death and rebirth. We outgrow our old selves. The things that used to make us happy don't work anymore. The conversations we used to have feel shallow. The career we chased feels empty. When this happens, the human mind demands an incubation period. You cannot undergo a metamorphosis in public. You cannot dissolve your identity while trying to maintain a 50-day snap streak. You cannot figure out who you are becoming while constantly reassuring everyone that you haven't changed. So, they go dark. This ghosting is actually a spiritual incubation. They are in the chrysalis. They are shedding old skin, rethinking their values, and recalibrating their direction. To the outside world, it looks like they are doing nothing. Why are you just sitting at home? Why aren't you hustling? Why aren't you dating? But internally, they are doing the hardest work a human can do. They are rewriting their own soul. If you have a friend who has disappeared, do not assume they are stagnant. Assume they are molting. Assume they are growing in ways that require darkness. And when they come back, because they usually do, you will often find they are different. They are clearer, stronger, more grounded. They didn't leave you. They left the version of themselves that could no longer exist. Now, let's talk about the friction. Why does this hurt the people around them so much? In psychology, there is a concept called object constancy. It is the ability to believe that a bond exists even when you are not physically interacting with it. For people who disappear, object constancy is usually very strong. They can go 6 months without talking to you, pick up the phone, and feel exactly the same love and closeness as if they saw you yesterday. In their mind, the connection is solid. It doesn't need constant maintenance to be real. They think, I love my friends, so I don't need to text them every day to prove it. But for people with anxious attachment or people who need high frequency of contact, this silence feels like abandonment. They interpret the silence as the death of the relationship. This is the tragedy of the disappearer. They often hurt the people they love, not out of malice, but out of a mismatch in needs. The disappearer assumes that love equals to understanding my need for space. The friend assumes that love equals to constant presence. If you are the person who disappears, you must understand that your silence is loud. To you, it feels like peace. To them, it feels like a scream of rejection. But here is the defense for the disappearer. They are often the ones who offer the highest quality of presence when they are there, because they take these breaks, because they recharge fully. When they show up completely. They are not scrolling on their phone while talking to you. They are not half listening. They are all in. They prefer 3 hours of deep, soul-bearing conversation once a month over 30 days of shallow, hey, how are you texts. They value depth over frequency. In a world of shallow connections, this is a rare and misunderstood gift. There is one final piece to this puzzle: control. We live in a chaotic world. The news is terrifying. The economy is unstable. Our futures are uncertain. For many, anxiety comes from a feeling of helplessness. We cannot control the world, but we can control our access. Disappearing is the ultimate act of reclaiming control. When you put your phone on airplane mode, you are playing God with your own reality. You are deciding, for the next 12 hours, the world does not get to touch me. It is a protective mechanism for people who feel that life is something that happens to them. By withdrawing, they flip the script. Now they are happening to life. They are choosing when to engage. It is a boundary. And for people who have trouble setting boundaries in the moment, people who are people pleasers or can't say no, disappearing is the only boundary they know how to set. They can't look you in the eye and say, "I'm tired, please go home." They don't want to hurt your feelings, so instead they retreat later. They disappear because they never learned how to say no while staying present. If you find yourself disappearing often, ask yourself, am I running away from the world or am I running towards myself? Because there is a difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation is running away out of fear. It feels cold. It feels lonely. It drains you. Solitude is running towards yourself out of love. It feels warm. It feels rich. It restores you. The people who disappear are usually seeking solitude, but they are accused of isolation. So where does this leave us? If you are the person who disappears, I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with your need for the void. You are not broken because you cannot maintain the relentless pace of modern digital sociality. You are not a bad friend because you need to molt. Your capacity to be alone is a strength. In a world where people are terrified of their own thoughts, where they need podcasts and music and texting just to fall asleep, your ability to sit in the silence is a superpower. It is where your creativity comes from. It is where your self-awareness comes from. However, you must learn to communicate the why. The people who love you are not mind readers. They don't know you are in a chrysalis. They just think you're ignoring them. A simple sentence can change your life. I am feeling overwhelmed and need to go offline for a few days to recharge. I love you, and I will be back. That is all it takes. That converts ghosting into taking space. It protects your relationships while protecting your peace. And if you are the friend of someone who disappears, try to see their silence not as an absence of love, but as a presence of struggle. They are fighting for their equilibrium. They are trying to find their way back to a version of themselves that is worthy of you. Don't chase them. Don't punish them. Let them go into the deep. Let them dive. Because the people who disappear always come back. And when they do, they usually bring back pearls from the ocean floor, insights, stories, and a renewed energy that they could never have found in the shallow end of the pool. The next time someone disappears, let them. They are just taking a trip into their own mind. And perhaps we could all use a little more time there. Thanks for taking this mind trip with me. Until next time, take care of your mind. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I'll also like to connect with you in the comments.